Dan Illman, Mike Beer for Weekend Wrap, taking a look back at last Friday's Grade 1 Breeders Cup Distaff for fillies and mares. They break from the gate. Champagne Room going to show some big speed down towards the inside. Last year's Breeders Cup Juvenile Fillies winner, taking on some salty older horses. That's Paradise Oaks, also a 3-year-old filly, winner of the Santa Anita Oaks earlier this year, applying some pressure.
Yeah, I don't know. It's sort of surprising to me to see Paradise Woods not really setting for the lead here. I mean, all right, Champagne Room broke fine and sort of headed forward, but they're not blazing away here. They're going to go 23 and a piece, 48 flat to the half. They're not flying in front. It just felt like to me, you know, maybe this was the plan, Paradise Woods. They weren't going to send her too fast to the early lead in here, and I'm not so sure that it was the smart thing to do. I'm
interested in your thoughts on the track and the way it was playing on Friday. I didn't think the rail was great. I don't think you can excuse that for Stellar Wynn's poor performance. Yes, she is the number 2, down towards the inside, getting some dirt kicked in her face, maybe on the deeper footing, but she doesn't run at all.
Well, she just doesn't fire at all in this race, and it was a very disappointing way for her to end her career because she had been so good in every one of her races until this. I do think the rail was not the place to be. You could see as they all headed into the first turn, every rider in the race stayed way off the inside. Stellar Wynn is down there the entire way, and she will back up pretty badly and never really contend in this race either. The rail, I guess, is part of an excuse for her. She also was not sharp at all in this race.
Late, trying to ratchet up some pressure, now 3 wide. This is the 3-year-old filly that took all the money in this race, based off some brilliant morning trials and some late season resurgence for Bill Mott. But Unbridled, Forever Unbridled on the far outside just rolls right by her and really never looks like a loser from here on out.
Yeah, she actually, Forever Unbridled got a really nice trip and ride from Johnny Velasquez in this race, but she was also much the best in this field. This was a nice, strong run to contention through the turn. She takes it over. Johnny's got to keep her busy through the stretch, but I think that's just the kind of horse that she is. She's way the best in here. Late was pretty disappointing. She didn't break sharply in this race, but after that, good trip, in contention, but working hard, and you could just tell she was never going to win through the second turn.
Strong finish on the outside from the 4, the ultra-consistent Abel Tasman. That solidifies a 3-year-old filly championship for her with this good second-place finish. It was nice to see her relax a little bit better at the back of the pack. She was not pulling on the backstretch, as we saw in her last 2 races. And, you know, she tried to make this thing close at the end. She's a really underrated, nice filly.
No, she really is. She ran well in this race. And you're right. I think taking back off the pace this time, I think it really helped her. You could see them as they came through the second turn. She was actually in a really good position. She was following Forever Unbridled, but she was working really hard to do it, while that horse wasn't working hard at all. And I think that's where Forever Unbridled won the race. But Abel Tasman still finished very well to be second in here.
Forever Unbridled pays $9.40 as the 3rd choice in the Breeders' Cup Distaff. She is trained by Dallas Stewart, ridden by John Velasquez. This homebred is a tremendous family. She is a full sister to Ballerina winner, Unbridled Forever. Her dam won the Kentucky Oaks. I mean, this is just a blue blood pedigree for Forever Unbridled. And the good news is it appears she will be back for a 6-year-old campaign next year. Now, she only earned a 99 by her speed figure for her win in the Breeders' Cup Distaff, and her connections are like, you know something? We're going to go to the Pegasus at 1 1/8 and perhaps face Gunrunner, Collected, West Coast et al.
Well, she's got improving to do to go against a horse like Gunrunner if he shows up there, but she's a really nice filly and deserves her chance to run in some, you know, good races next year. We'll see what happens. I mean, they raced her very sparingly this year. This was only her 3rd start of the entire year, so she should be pretty fresh for next year. It'd be interesting to see if they do come back, if they come back for a full campaign, or if they're just going to sort of, you know, pick their spots with her again.
And she nails down, of course, champion older filly and mare in 2017 with her win in the Distaff, Forever Unbridled. Let's talk about Paradise Woods. It appears she will be back for a campaign as a 4-year-old filly. She was really the only part of the pace that was hanging around at the end of this race. She sort of got herded down towards the inside by the winner, and if you think the inside was deeper, maybe that hurt her a little bit, but she was getting understandably tired. I wonder if she needed one more prep after missing most of the summer.
That's a good point. I also wonder, you know, about 1 1/8 for her. I wonder how far she really wants to go. On the other hand, you know, and I sort of understand why they would want to sort of rate her a little bit early in this race, but to me, her best chance to win was going to be go to the front, go legitimate pace, and just see if you can wire this field. And they didn't really give her a chance to do that. And so far, you know, down the line, you know, who knows what happens. But so far this year, her best races have been when they let her use her speed, and they didn't do it on Friday.
Stellar Wynn likely to be retired off of this just dud of a performance. Again, she was down on the deeper footing, but she just didn't fire at all. And I wonder, and I thought it was the right move for John Sadler to give her plenty of time between races, but you wonder if he'll be second-guessed. 3 months may be a little too long.
Well, you can't argue with the results he had gotten by spacing her races before that, so it's hard to, you know, sort of point fingers at him now. For whatever reason, you know, she didn't fire in the distaff this year, and it's pretty disappointing because, again, she'd been a good horse right along. She'd never run a race like that before.
But Forever Unbridled had a big season, taking down Songbird in that horse's career finale in the Personal Ensign at Saratoga, then comes right back to win the Breeders' Cup Distaff with a 99 Beyers speed figure, and perhaps we will see her take on Gunrunner in the Pegasus World Cup.